Morning everybody, it's Friday, must be the 20th of September, and I'm on my morning run at 6:15, sun's out, hopefully going to be a nice day. I'm at the northern end of the Joseph's Gate track at the moment, which is about 2.5 kilometres long, and I've got a route in mind as usual as I'm going to run. I'm not going to film it all, just little snippets of it here and there. So I'll come back to you when I'm further along the track here. About halfway along the track now, coming up to a section called Copford Reach. There's a toilet block over on the right there. One of the downsides to doing this run is that up on the right, behind that fence there, is the sewage treatment works, and as you can imagine, it's a pretty awful smell. It's not so bad at this time of the day because the air hasn't warmed up yet, but it'll be pretty awful as the day goes on. But I suppose if you're capable, this is a time to up your pace and get past it quickly. Now I'd come here with the intention of showing that the road across the viaduct, aqueduct, had reopened. But this is the new bridge, and it is, at least at this end of it, that it's open. You see it's much lower down, but hopefully it will survive any heavy storms, potential floods. A lot of landscaping gone into keeping the bank secure. Quite some significant twisties here. Still bring us out behind the jail on Cemetary St. Excuse me. Made it nice and wide for cyclists to be able to turn around. So I said in a video I made a little over a week ago that I hoped it all done and open by Christmas. Looks like my wish has been well and truly granted. I'm going to turn on to the Wollondilly River track here, and you can see the Sydney Road Bridge ahead. This track goes to about 1.2k. I'll come back again when I reach the other end. I come off that section of road path and now I'm on Main Street, and I'm about to enter the wetlands and run around them. I'm inside the wetlands, and I've filmed this before and run it quite a few times. About a kilometre of dirt track here to run around. I'll come back when I get to the other end. Hopefully you can see some of the local wildlife here that you can see in the wetlands. Well, I'm out of the wetlands, going up the back of the golf course along Main Street. Had a couple of electricity poles to run before them at the top of this hill. Coming to the end of that section of Main Street, as you cross the road, here is the public school. And I've got a couple of turns to make all downhill, which is good, before I come to a T intersection, so I'll come back to you then. I'm coming up to that T intersection that I mentioned. Is Glenelg Street and Forbes Street for local folks, and I'm taking a left and going a couple of hundred metres along here towards the Landsdowne Bridge, which is my ultimate target for this part of the run. So I'm here at the Landsdowne Bridge on Wollondilly Road, which was one end of the run, with the idea that I wanted to be able to demonstrate that it was possible to run from Wollondilly Avenue to here, and hopefully when all the roadworks, bridge works and whatever are done, you'll be able to do it without having to go across too many roads. Now, at a rough guess, I'd say that's about 7.5 or a bit more. Well, just past 8 kilometres, and I'm on my way back now. I could go back exactly the same way as I came. I could take the second route on the way back, or go over the bridge. I'm going to take the second route. I'll come back to you when I'm on a different part of this road. Coming to the end of that section, Forbes Street, crossing Park Road down the hill from where the school is, and going left along the new pathways that I've made here. I talked about earlier here. Is you've got to have a strategy and the energy to get back to where you started from. If you just go on a 5k run, no, it's just 5k to a loop and I'll be back to where I started from. And you think, well, it's only 8k's or whatever it is. And then you've got to factor in the return journey and hope that you've got the legs to do that. Well, I guess we'll see. I turned onto Blackshore Road, the other side of the golf course, and there's about a kilometre here to the level crossing over the railway line. I'll come back to you when we get there. Just across the level crossing on the railway line. I was fortunate enough to get there just after the enormous goods train had gone through, so I didn't have to stop and wait. Coming up to Sloane Street here, where I'll go right. As you'll see, I have a map at the end of the video. I've taken a right turn here and gone down on Warwick Street. Just ahead there is the railway line, so I'll be running parallel railway line for a while. Just across the Sydney Road, going down the back of Goulburn North Tool, and then on to Cemetary Street, so I'll come back to you when I get on there. I'm just passing the exit on Cemetary Street to the Mulwarry River track, which you went on earlier underneath the Sydney Road Bridge there. I've got a couple of poles to run past yet before I'm at the top of the hill here. I try to avoid going over the same paths or roads or tracks when I'm running, just because of the boredom factor, but in this case it's the shortest distance I can. So I'll come back to you when we get closer to the new work again. I'm back here at the new bridge work. I could have gone over the old bridge and see it, but it seemed to be that I've been whining about this path not going anywhere for such a long time. It'd be a shame not to use it now it's open. And so I'd say we're about 12.5 k's into this run, and I reckon we've got about another 3 to go back to the start point. And I mentioned this wide turnaround here, a couple of places, making it easy for cyclists to come down these switchbacks, which is a good thing. Bit of thought going into the design there. Nevertheless, the descent is quite steep, so cyclists be careful. We've just passed a 13-kilometre mark, so there's about 2.7 kilometres left, and it does mean I've got to run past the sewerage works again, but again that seems to be a small price to pay for the fact that the bridge is now open after me whining on about paths that go nowhere. I'll come back to you when we get to the other end now. Past the sewerage works, fortunately, and I'm just coming up on that section that I said was called Copford Reach. If you're a runner, breathe through your nose when you're going through past the sewerage works if you can. Coming onto a bit of a rise here, and it's one of those places where you're reasonably close to your finish and getting a bit tired, leaves you a bit sore and so on, and you've just got to keep pushing through, keep telling your legs to keep going, and your brain's got to not give in to that idea that it wants to stop now, because you know it's not that far till you get to the finish, and before you know it you're on top of that rise, and you can see it's reasonably flat here for a little while now. Down this dip here now, that's a bit of a reward you get having run that hill earlier, and I know that when I get to the bottom of the dip I'm going to go around the right bend and up a hill, and I'll be done and dusted, or home and hosed as they say in horse racing. Around to the right. So back where I started from, on the Wollondilly Avenue end of the Joseph's Gate path, and so the run from Wollondilly Avenue to Landsdowne Bridge and back again, and just up the side of this house here, and behind this tree stump, and see the white beast. Hopefully it's still there. Yep, where I left it. Thank you for watching. As I said, that's the Wollondilly to Landsdowne Bridge, Wollondilly Avenue to Landsdowne Bridge. Back again, done and dusted. A distance of 15.61 kilometres in a time of 1 hour 38 at a pace of 6:20, if you can see all that, which you probably can't now. So I can bring it up. So as I said, 15.61, hang on, just trying to get it up again. It's gone, never mind. I'll walk along here a bit, cool down and explain it to you. 15.61 kilometres at a pace of 6 point something, 6.5 minutes or thereabouts per kilometre, and a total running distance time of 1 hour 38 minutes. I'm not going to set the world on fire in terms of times or distances or anything like that, or certainly my time. It's more to prove to myself that that could be done, and to show that the track now is open, and hopefully before too long the rest of it will also be open, and all the bridge work and whatever will be completed, and you'll be able to enjoy the run there. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.